guys. I'll start off with Helen Zille, right? The DA's Federal Council chairperson. She had an interview on ENCA on Sunday, and she was speaking about how only two parties have a chance of doing anything here in Johannesburg. And those two parties are the ANC or the DA. We spoke about the polls and the projections, obviously. And she feels like people should not be splitting their votes on any other party except those two. If you feel like you are voting for black people, vote for ANC. If you feel like you are voting for white people, vote for DA. She didn't say that, but that's what I'm telling you, because that's essentially what it means. Also, yesterday, you will have seen that it looks like Bosa, not action necessarily. Bosa, Rise Mzansi, and Uncle Pat's party. What's it called again? Good party. Are going to come together, right? That's a very simple one. Basically, the funders like, guys, instead of leaving 3 accounts, just amalgamate this thing to one account. You know? That's all it is. And then I will tell you this, by the way. In September, Floyd's party, Mayibuye, will launch. Don't ask me how I know. I just know these things. Right? Now, we've spoken about how the black vote is deliberately being split up by people that allow others to go set up these parties, and they even fund them. This is not hearsay. I know it for a fact. Right? But people see it as more opportunity. They see it as, I guess, a diverse political sphere, because that is what democracy is about anyway, right? It's allowed. I just find it funny that Helen Zille realizes herself that when it comes to the elections that count, such as the one where she could stand to be Johannesburg city mayor, then all of a sudden she sees the folly in splitting votes. Whereas in the past, they've always said people should split their votes. They've always said people should vote according to who they think is going to do well municipally and then also nationally. It's a very different message now.
You know what I'm thinking? In the past, maybe they might have been a bit closer to the party in power, because when you split votes, you're basically diluting votes and hence giving more power to the party that's more dominant. That's how I see it. You're thinking you're splitting votes, but the party that's more dominant gets most votes regardless. So now she sees that there are more smaller parties, which also puts the DA on that's almost the same baseline. That's how I see it.
It could be that.
Yeah,
so it could be that. But again, historically, if you look at all these new parties that have formed, they've only hurt the ANC. All of them. Yeah. So you've got COPE, came from the ANC. EFF came from the ANC. Then MK came from the ANC.
Yeah.
Then all these other smaller parties, or ATM, what's the other one? Former CEO of SABC.
Oh, that one.
You first something.
Was it ACT?
ACT.
Transformation.
ACT. No, that's Isma Sangoma.
Which one was
Saudi?
Yeah, Saudi.
Yeah, Saudi Matsuning had something.
That was the
Black First, Land First. All of these have only hurt the ANC. The only part that hurt the DA, right, was the Freedom Front Plus.
Yes.
And that's because people became a lot more radical. And I suppose white people felt like the DA is no longer doing what's good for white people, so they went to Freedom Front Plus. That's where they got hurt.
Yeah.
Mbali?
I think Helen Zille has realized that, splitting the vote is not working. And also, she's also realizing that actually coalitions are not working in South Africa.
Definitely not.
Right? And we see it with the GNU. You might have sort of a big majority like the DA, but it seems as if it's also not working in, this government of national unity. So why not just have, two dominant big parties so that they can have a much more bigger say in how things are being run? So I think that she's just realizing that since 2016, we found ourselves in coalition governments. But really, essentially, when you look at the bigger picture here, it's really not working for all of us.
No, 100%. Coalitions aren't working. You get hamstrung. I believe we should have more of a US electoral system.
We should.
Where winner takes all. If I get 51%, I take the entire province. I'm 49 omunye. Pumani nihlulekile.
To an extent, I agree with you on that, because then we will get to hold a particular party accountable. Because right now, it's very difficult to hold anybody accountable, because then when you say, no, it's the DA, they can always say, no, that person there is that person, that party. And so the ball gets moved around a lot. But also, I think the one thing that Helen is realizing, outside that the coalitions and the GNU is not working, it's not working in their favor specifically.
Yes.
So if you realize which something's not working in our favor, let's find a way for it to work in our favor.
So now here's my question. When do we, right, as the voter, realize that we've been taken for fools? Helen, for example, hasn't even received the go-ahead to campaign in Johannesburg as the mayor, but her campaign is already underway, well and truly. You can see it, right? Floyd Shivambu's party hasn't even launched. He says he's still consulting, but he's already made an announcement who they're going to be contesting the elections next year. What is it that you're consulting? Imagine me RSVPing to a party and then saying, but I still need to ask my wife if I'm allowed to go there.
No.
But I've already RSVP'd.
But if we're being honest, Floyd, when it comes to the whole consultation thing, that was just a ruse. He already knew he wanted to start the party. That was just him buying time and making it seem as though it is something that the people want.
We know that, but I'm asking, do the people realize that? Give us a shout and let us know. From Fantuka, straight.